everyone, and happy Nurses Week. This video is for Yoga Health Nurse Warriors. This video will take you through a warrior sequence that you can use before or after your shift ends. So let's get on the mat together and share this experience. I'd like to welcome you to the mat. Let's start in Tadasana pose or mountain pose. Feet are hip width distance apart, ankles, knees, hips are stacked. Hands down by the sides, close your eyes, settle in here. Notice what is showing up for you, what you have experienced throughout your day. And let's cleanse that out with our breath. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose, exhale side out of the mouth. Let that go. Let any stale energy go that's no longer serving you. Inhale through the nose, exhale out of the mouth. Bring the hands to heart center or to prayer position. Bow to yourself for showing up on the mat today to give back to your well-being. Exhale, release the hands down by the sides. Let's start. Inhale, lift the arms up overhead, gaze up towards the hands if your neck allows. Exhale, forward fold, hinge from the hips, hands to hit the mat or to the knees or the shins. Inhale, half lift, fingertips on the mat or to the shins, flat back, gaze down. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, bring the belly on top of the thighs. Push off the feet, inhale, come all the way up to stand, arms up overhead, gaze up. Right hand to grab the left wrist, lean over to the right hand side, open up the left side body into a lateral bend. Inhale, come back up. Left hand to grab the right wrist, lean over to the left, open up. Back to neutral here. Exhale, forward, fold hands to the mat. Left hand comes in front of the face. Let's take a twist. Right arm comes up overhead. Bend the left knee if you need. Release the right hand down to the mat. Left hand comes up into the twist. Bend the right knee. Exhale, release the hands back down to the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, come up. Arms come up overhead. Gaze up towards the hands. Lateral bend to the right. Grab the left wrist. Breathe in. Come back. Lateral bend to the left. Inhale, come back to neutral. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to the mat. Bend the knees. Step the right foot back into a low lunge. Release the right knee down to the mat. The top of the right foot onto the mat. Inhale, bring the heart up, hands to the thighs. Breathe here, breathing in, opening up that right groin. Moving to half split, so bring your hands to frame that front foot and bring your hips back and straighten that front knee. Arms can be straight or with a slight bend in the elbows. Breathe in and out, release any tension. And come back into that low lunge, bring your heart up, sink down into that right hip. Exhale, release back to runner's pose or half split. Inhale into low lunge. We're just flowing through these two poses. Exhale into half split. Inhale, bring your heart up and forward. Exhale. Low lunge, inhale. Exhale, half split. Inhale, come back to low lunge. And this time, you're going to bring your left knee next to your right, and then step your right foot forward into a low lunge. We'll tackle the other side. Top of the left foot is on the mat. Bring your heart up and forward. Place your hands onto the thigh, if this works for you, and breathe. Sink down into that left hip. Release the hands down. And come back into half split, so straighten the front knee, bring the hips back, and take whatever length and space you can get here. Breathe in and breathe out. The toe can be pointed up towards the ceiling. Your elbows can be bent, or the arms are straight, reaching for the front toes. Inhale, come back to that low lunge as we start our flow. Exhale into runner's pose or half split. Inhale into low lunge. Exhale, split. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, half split. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, half split. Inhale. Keep moving here. Sink the left hip down even more. Exhale, release the hips back even further. Step that right foot back now. You're in all fours. And step that left leg forward this time into a low lunge. And this time, if you're able, you're going to lift that right knee off the mat. It's okay to keep it down here. Take the hands to the left thigh, or inhale, lift the arms up overhead. You're in a high lunge. Breathe. Sink down. Exhale, release the hands down to the mat. And then bring your hips up and back, straighten the front knee into pyramid pose. Press that back heel down towards the mat, opening up the hamstrings here. Inhale, come back into that high lunge. Arms can come up overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down into pyramid. And we're just going to flow through this. Inhale to high lunge. Exhale, straighten the knee into pyramid. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, hands to the mat. Lift the hips, straighten the knees, pyramid. Bring the right knee down to the mat. And then we're going to switch. Come back to all fours and then step that right foot forward. Tuck the toes of the back foot and lift that left knee off the mat if you're able. Arms can come up overhead into your lunge. Thighs as parallel to the floor as it can be on the right leg. The right toes are pointing towards the top edge of the mat. Release the hands down to the mat. Let's take pyramid pose here. Straighten both knees, hips come up. Keep breathing. Inhale, come back to that high lunge. Exhale, release the hands down, lift the hips up and back. Good, straighten the knees. Inhale into that high lunge. Exhale to pyramid. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale to pyramid. Bring that left knee down to the mat. Come to all fours. We're going to move into our first downward facing dog. So tuck the toes under. Point your fingers towards the top edge of the mat. And you're going to lift your hips up and back, straighten the knees as best as you can, or it's okay to keep your knees bent here. Biceps are near the ears. Feet are hip width distance apart. Hips come up and back. You're in an upside down V. Breathe. Inhale, exhale. And start to walk your feet in to meet your hands. Stay in a forward fold. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, hands to prayer, heart center, bow. Pause here. Notice any changes happening. And go ahead and step that right foot back into a high lunge once again, and then pivot your back foot out to about 30 degrees or 2 o'clock. Arms can come up overhead into warrior one. Breathe here. On your exhale, open the hips up. The back foot comes out a little bit more to about 45 degrees, and the hands come out to a T. You're going to gaze over the front fingertips into warrior two. The toes of the front foot still pointing towards the top edge of the mat, knees over the ankle. Sink down into that hip. Back arm comes down the back leg. Lean back and lift that left arm up overhead. Dance your warrior. Exhale, release, come back to warrior two. Bring your right hip back and straighten that front knee. You're gonna move into triangle. So right hip comes back and then your left arm come down towards that left foot. Right arm comes up overhead. You can have a slight bend in that left knee if needed. Gaze up towards that hand if your neck allows. And cartwheel your arms down to frame your front leg, pivot the back foot, step back, downward facing dog. Breathe in and out here. Do what feels really good in your body during this practice. This is your warrior practice. Start to walk your feet in to meet your hands. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Hands come down by the sides. This time, step your left foot all the way back into that high lunge or warrior one. Pivot the foot down about 30 degrees. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Strong in that front leg. Push down through the front foot. And then opening up to warrior two, the hips will open. The back foot turns to about 45 degrees. Arms come to a T, gaze over the front fingertips. Breathe in and breathe out. The back arm comes down the back leg. Then the right arm's going to come up overhead. Lean back just a bit to answer your warrior. Gaze up towards the hand if you can. Exhale, release, come back to warrior two. And then straighten that front knee. Pivot the foot as needed and bring that left hip back and the right arm down towards the floor in front of that right leg. Left arm to come up overhead. Arms are still in a T. Pyramid pose. Rather triangle pose. We already done pyramid pose. Breathe in here. Cartwheel the hands down to the mat. Step that right foot back. Downward facing dog. Breathing in and breathing out. And then start to walk your hands back towards your feet. So you're at the back edge of the mat. Roll up one vertebrae at a time. Bring your hands to heart center. Just check in with yourself here. We're going to move into warrior three, nurses. Warrior three. So you're going to stand in Tadasana. Feet are hip width distance apart. Bring your hands down by your sides. Stepping that right foot forward and then lifting the left leg back and up. Bring your hands out to the side to help you balance. Find a place to stare at. You can bring your hands to heart center, keep them out to the sides, or bring the arms up overhead. Make sure you have a strong, straight leg here on the right side. Bring the left leg back down nice and slowly. Step back. We'll go to the other side. Hands come down by the sides or to heart center. You're choosing. Step that left foot forward this time. Right leg to lift. Toes pointing down towards the floor the best they can. Arms can come out to a T. Hands to heart center. Your practice, your choice. Gaze down towards the mat. Find that point to stare at to help you with balance. Strong left leg here. Bring your hands back to heart center. Step down and step back ever so slightly and slowly. Bring yourself back to Tadasana. Inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Walk the hands forward. Into downward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Press the heels down towards the mat. Inhale, come to plank. So shoulders are over the wrist. You can place your knees on the mat if you need it. Exhale, release the knees, belly, chest, chin to the mat. Keep the elbows bent. Flip the feet. Inhale, push your heart forward and up into cobra. Squeeze the butt cheeks and press the pelvis into the mat here. Release the heart back down to the mat. Exhale. Push up to all fours. Inhale. Widen the knees to the width of the mat, big toes to touch. Bring your hips back towards your heels. Exhale, child's pose. Breathing in and breathing out, releasing any energy from the practice. Start to come back to the breath. And then slowly and effortlessly, you're going to come around to lay onto your backs as we move into our final resting pose of Shavasana, recovery pose from our day. So let the legs fall out, the heels on the outside edges of the mat, the hands and the arms down by your sides, palms facing up to receive. Take a nice deep inhale here through the nose and exhale out of the mouth. A few more here, and on the exhale, feel the back of the body becoming heavier and heavier, your bones pulling you down towards the floor, grounding you in. And then letting go of control of the breath and knowing that you put your best effort forward today, taking care of others. And now it is your time to rest and recharge in stillness and in peace. You are a nurse warrior. You deserve this time to yourself. It's time for self-care so you can take better care of others. Deepen the breath. Wiggle your fingertips and your toes as you start to reawaken. Lift the arms up overhead on your next inhale. Nice long stretch from the fingertips to the toe tips. Exhale, bend both knees, bring them into your chest. Wrap your hands around your shins. Give yourself a nice hug. And then roll over to your left or right side to a fetal position. Take a nice deep breath in here. Exhale, release. When you're ready, you're going to come up to sit in a seated, comfortable position. Bring your hands to your heart and bow your head to yourself for showing up, to give back to yourself so you can better take care of others. I thank you for all that you do and the great care that you give. You are a nurse warrior. Namaste.
Thank you so much for joining me for this Nurse Warrior practice. It is my honor to give this back to you nurses during Nurses Week. If you liked this video, hit that thumbs up button. Also, feel free to leave any questions or comments in the box below and subscribe to this channel. If you want to learn more about Yoga Health and my mission, please feel free to click the link in the description box below that will take you to my personal website. Thank you for all that you do, and may love and health go with you wherever you go.